Welcome to this week's reflection. My wife and I moved from Yorkshire to Wales in 2012 so that I could work here. I retired in 2018 and we decided to stay in this beautiful part of the Upper Severn Valley. We also decided to start to learn Welsh. We've been going for 2 years now to Newtown, Newydd, on a Monday evening, more recently, of course, on Zoom. Just yesterday, we completed a 3-day summer course, which was very helpful. I was encouraged because I found out I knew more than I thought I did, but also became very aware of the many gaps in my knowledge and understanding. For example, I translated "my gynno fo lawer o datws" as "he has lots of potatoes," rather than "he has lots of tattoos." One language can never be fully translated into another. Deeper meanings sometimes lie below the surface of the individual words. Indeed, sometimes we can't say exactly what we want to say in our own native language. Words are slippery, and threading them in the best order to convey our meaning can sometimes be as frustrating as trying to untie a knot in a lace with one hand. Now, you can probably tell by looking at me that I am more of the generation of the Bee Gees than of Boy's Own. But both bands sung to their beloved. You think that I don't even mean a single word I say. It's only words, and words are all I have to take your heart away. We're so stuffed full of words and images in our media today that we perhaps forget that what we call language is happening in all sorts of other ways between us as well. There's the expression on my face at the moment, which you can all see, as well as hearing the words I'm saying. We learn to become very adept at interpreting people's faces and actions. Why we say, "I can read them like a book," although, of course, there are no words around at the time we think or say that. So unspoken languages are always happening between us. Prayer is sometimes described as conversation with God, but I don't think that's quite right. In conversation, we try to keep our end up as well as possible, whereas I think that prayer is very much beginning to know afresh each new day that we are held within the gaze of God's love. This is true of God's world as well, in its beauty and desperate need. So we hold that too, very imperfectly, in God's gaze, and we keep quiet, and we listen, and we wait for prompting. Jesus says in Matthew's Gospel, "When you are praying, do not heap up empty phrases as the hypocrites do." Rather, he says, we are to pray to our Father in the secret place. Now that may be somewhere quiet and little known, but I think it also means in the silence of our hearts. John of the Cross, who lived in the 16th century in Spain, was someone who was given to prayer. He knew hardship in his life, including travelling thousands of miles on hazardous roads, frequent ill health, and even imprisonment by his brothers in the Carmelite order of which he was part. and yet he wrote towards the end of his life, "Our greatest need is to be silent before God with the appetite and with the tongue. For the language which God understands best is the silent language of love."